So bye,
How are ya?
bye, Miss American Pie.
American
Drove my
Pie.
Chevy to the levee, but the levee was
Don
dry.
McLean.
And them good old boys were drinking whiskey and rye, singing, "This'll be the day that I die. This'll be the day that I die."
So the reason we're having Mr. McLean back up this story today is because the story is called The Day the Music Died. So it's very appropriate, and we thank him very much, and we'll catch him on the way up, you know. So this story is from many years ago, back when I was just out of the house, and a young musician, alcoholic buck. Oh, a hermit buck. So I lived in this little tiny town called, when my parents let me out, I found this, I've been a hermit all my life. So I just happened to find, just right over there, is this teeny tiny summer tourist town, it used to be, called Monterey. And I would just hang out there and be a musician and an alcoholic, and no one really around. As long as you didn't do anything too bad, nobody bothered you. So it was a great place to be doing that type of thing at that particular time. And also, it was legal to drink on the streets in Sonoma County at that time. I'm in California, by Santa Rosa, just above San Francisco. And when I first got there, it was legal to drink on the streets, not only in Monterey, but in Santa Rosa and everywhere else in this great big Sonoma County. You could drink outside all you wanted to. You couldn't be an ass. You know, you couldn't start something just because, no, you couldn't do that, but you could drink outside, you know. "Hey, partner, how you doing? Nice to see you." Yeah, no problem. And it was just as free and easy as, it was just wonderful. And there was a few of us, being such a small town. Well, in the wintertime, all it does is rain. And when it's not raining, it's wet. And it's damp and it's moldy. Well, but during the summer, it's hot. But it's nice because it's just one little mountain tip away from the ocean. So we got, when it got really hot for everybody else, we got this siphoning off of nice foggy stuff from the ocean. It was just perfect. The weather in Monterey was just perfect, if you forgive winter. Well, one thing that we found to do during the summer, beer was in the bar was 35 cents. Or was it 25? And then we got concerned when they raised it to 35 cents. Yeah, that's what happened. So, but still, you know, the times being that they are, well, you could usually afford a beer at that rate. But a lot of times what we would do is across the main bar is the Pink Elephant Bar. Now, for those who don't know, the reason it's called the Pink Elephant is because in the old days, before they had acid and things like that, to describe someone's condition when he had way too much alcohol, he would be one who would be seeing pink elephants. And so that became the name of this bar. And in fact, a sign out front, great big pink iron pink elephant with a big old trunk and neon light around it. And it's just wonderful. Anyway, that was the main center of attention in the town as far as we were concerned. And across the street from the Pink Elephant was the one store. There was a one, you know, but right here in town, that was the store. And going to the corner from the store, there used to be a building next door. You knew that because now there was a real deep pit. And so to keep people from falling in the pit, since there was no longer a store, they put up a fence. and it went around the corner into the post office. So here it turns out is a great place where, a building's worth of space. There's a fence for the guys to come around and have, hey buddy, how you doing now? It's just marvelous. And my best friend, Slow Ted, was of course one of the members, and but he would always be down there singing and playing his guitar. That's all he ever did, was sing and play his guitar. No matter where you saw him, he might have been distracted for a little while doing something, but as soon as he could, he would be back to drinking beer, singing and playing the guitar. So everybody else was drinking, and Ted was singing and drinking. It was just wonderful. He was always playing. He was Monterio's musician. I mean, sorry guys, there were other ones around, but he was the one that was down there in the streets doing the heavy lifting. You know what I'm saying? So everything was going just wonderfully. We were buying beer from Bartlett's, the name of the store, right next door to the fence. They didn't mind. They were selling us the beer. They didn't have any problem at all with us being over there. They had a trash can for us, and we used it. And God, everything was just good with life. Well, this went on for a blissful few years. And we started to get some not so trustable members of our club. They were into other things aside from drinking, and were not above begging and making a nuisance of themselves. That's all well and good when you're in San Francisco or something, but hey, this particular person from our group, unfortunately, started hassling and panhandling for money and bothering them. These families that are coming into the one local store to get their food, he would harass them and harangue them and panhandle them on the way in the store, and then they'd complain in there, and then they'd come back out because they have to go home. And when they come out, he does the same thing to them. He harasses them all over again. Now, the group of us sitting there watching this did not like this. We were totally against this, but we thought, we had a kind of relationship with the police because it was such a small town that unless you did something really bad, the police would say, hey, knock that off, and we'd just say, okay. And, that's the way it was. So we kind of made the mistake of assuming that the sheriffs would step in here to stop this person panhandling everybody going into their shopping. We made a big mistake. It wasn't the sheriff who came along and changed things. It was some committee somewhere who outlawed drinking for the entire county of Sonoma. All because this one guy was panhandling people going into this one store. Otherwise, you and I would be drinking on the streets today. Ho ho. But that's not the way it turned out. So they passed a law, and there was a certain date you can't. At least the beer was really cheap in the bar, but still, it was an offense. But they weren't done yet. Somebody said, as long as we're cleaning up the people drinking down there, that guy who plays guitar all the time. He is annoying. We have got to get rid of him too. As long as we're down there, come on, let's do it all together. Yee-haw! So they outlawed public music. Well, now we have come to make an affront right upon our personal door. We were not happy. This was not right. This was our life. But what are you going to do? Be a politician? I don't think so. But we did come up with something. I had a 55 Chevy truck. I just loved that thing. And my friend Ted and I was the drummer in a few bands. But I also played guitar with Ted. I lived at Ted's house. And we would always he would come up with gigs for us. And we would always say, oh, bass player over there, come here, learn this real quick. Learn the songs and play the gig. It was easy to teach him because I played drums, Ted played rhythm guitar, and we knew the songs. All we had to do was kind of guide them into it. It was great. So we always had an influx of musicians who, hey, you need a gig? Yeah, let's go. It was just great fun. And when we weren't doing that, we were in the bars, unplugging the jukebox, and singing for free beer all night long. Now, that might seem like, wasn't that a quaint? That's nice that did it. But actually, that was a very good deal for us. We could drink a lot of beer. So, we decided that we needed to make a statement about this no drinking and no music on the street. So what we did was we got the smallest amount of my drums that I could put on there to create your wanted musical effect, because if I put my whole drum set on there wouldn't be room for anybody else. So I took a couple things, the necessities. Ted got a microphone on an amplifier, and somehow we amplified it. I don't know. Don't ask me. I don't care. And then he played guitar, and I believe we said it one more time. We said, hey, bass player! And so what we did was we got on the truck with them in back, me driving, and I very slowly came around the back of Monorail and around to the other side of town. And we looked out. Coast clear? Yep. So we very slowly came up Main Street and stopped, and when we were right in front of the Pink Elephant, right in the middle of the road, thank you very much. So I put the brake on, and I got out, and I got up on the drums, and 1, 2, 3, 4, boo, 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 boo. I believe we played 3 songs, just right in the Pink Elephant window, bar window there. And it was just glorious. And we finished the 3 songs. I got down in the back in the truck, and I very slowly and smoothly drove away. Man, that felt good. We got home, we just felt great. Everything was okay now. And you know, we were risking we're breaking the law. You can't be doing music, especially the way you're doing it. But, you know, no police came. But our relationship with the police being such a small town, and them knowing us as lightweights, we never did anything really wrong. So they knew, they know us. So if a police car had come around and saw, oh, look at this, these darn guys are out there playing music when they're not supposed to be, you know what they would have done? They would have boom, 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 came up beside our truck and said, got to get our attention. And we look at them, and he would roll the window down and say, knock it off. And we say, okay. And we'd stop, and I'd get off the drums and back in the front of the truck and drive home just the way we did, except we didn't have to be asked because we made it. It was a successful mission, and we just got the biggest kick out of that. And that story is called The Day the Music Died, and once again, it's Don McLean with American Pie. And hey, man, nice to see you. Let's see if this thing will still be working for us. Oh, I guess it's not. Well, you know what? It was nice to see you. Be good to each other is always my advice. So, we're just going to silently go out on this one. Nice talking to you. Love that story. See, the reason I have to tell it is it got lost somewhere. I had a good version before, and then it's gone. Well, so I had to give it a shot, and this was it. Hey, nice to see you. Check you out next time, huh?